Scott Raven, you're up.
Thank you. Ken Deborah is somebody who survived a couple of narcissists, including one who indirectly sent him to the hospital. I appreciate this chat. I'll put it that way. Lack of self-awareness is the number one driver of poor leadership. And a key element of that, in my humble opinion, is how we act in normal situations versus stress situations, whether it be a momentary crisis, a good boss that gets reorganized under a bad boss, or here comes the layoff, so everybody's playing Game of Thrones. Question: did you explore how to improve your boss ability under stressful situations? And then are there keys that can be acted upon?
I think it's a really great question. We didn't specifically talk about it. I do share one story in the book about how I got promoted and all of a sudden was very, very stressed. And some of my bad boss behaviors came out, ones I didn't even know that I had. And I talk about how I dealt with it, which, maybe we can partner on a blog post on this one. Because the way that I dealt with this is I brought out authenticity and vulnerability. And I went to my people and I explained to them that my alter ego, whose name is Debbie, actually, that my alter ego was going to be coming out when I was stressed. And what could we do to handle her when she came out? So they made a sign that said Debbie is in the office. And then every time Debbie came out, I would put that sign on the door. And I think the point of that story is that we need to be honest with our people and admit that during stress, we're not going to be perfect and that we need them to understand it, but also to call us out and let us know what we need to do. So again, it goes back to that shared responsibility. Really good question. There needs to be a blog on that.
And the ability of a boss to say, yeah, I didn't get it right this time. I'm going to do better next time. I do think there's a pervasive effort across all of industry, in all walks of life, where people are trying to eliminate all risk. You can't fire me, you can't lay me off, you can't this, that, the other, because I'm perfect. I have no flaws. I got a great review. I think most of us would understand that that isn't really how it works anymore. No matter what you did yesterday, if the business can't afford you, the business is going to let you go. Right? You can't eliminate risk. You can only handle it when something goes wrong. And I think a measure of a boss, a measure of an organization, a measure of an employee is, what do you do when it goes wrong?
Well said, and I appreciate that, Ken, in terms of, how you're truly judged is when your back's against the wall, what do you do? So well said, and look forward to that blog on the subject.
I was just going to say, I wrote a book that came out right before the pandemic, which was on company values. And then during the pandemic, I wrote 30 stories about how companies handled the pandemic, living through their values. And to me, the pandemic was a huge test to organizations and how they treated people and customers. And a lot of people decided at that point in time, you know what, I either really want to stay with them because they've done a great job, or actually, I do not like the way they treated me in these challenging times and I'm leaving. So sort of related to stress.